Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to introduce to you guys a new client vlog, but it's not really a new client. This is Robert. Of course, he has his own channel that actually a few of you follow. Robert has been my client for around 21 to 22 months, and I'm going to show a clip at the end when people say, oh, he hasn't gained 40 pounds. He hasn't put, 200 over 200 pounds on this squat since you coached him. And then I'll show you guys at the end when he first came to me. He was emaciated and scrawny and was a sub 200 pound squatter. He's squatting like 190 pounds. I think it's like 87 kilos. And you'll see the clip at the end, and it's the same guy. And he's just like a toothpick. He has gained, in the time I've coached him, 40 pounds of body weight. 40 pounds. And he was a hard gainer, and he's like, I can't gain weight. Well, I got him gaining weight. Now, one of the things that we deal with Robert, whatever we want to call him. I like to call him Robbie, but his real name's Robert. So with Robert, he had a lot of joint problems, a lot of tendon problems, and he still does. Just from being really underweight, he has bad shoulders, he has elbows that hurt, he has knees that hurt, he has SI joint pain, everything. And it's still there to some extent. Now, you guys are going to laugh when he does these pull-ups at home. He hits his head on them, but that's okay. But the thing is, you guys will see him shirtless in some of this. And here's what I want people to understand. When you're a skinny hard gainer, you don't need to be afraid of getting fat. We have bulked for almost 2 years. Okay, and up to this point, he has almost hit a 5-plate deadlift. He has hit on a straight bar a 4-plate squat. We did break it a little while back. Okay, he broke it. He hit it. So now we're using more specialty bars because what we find the straight bar, his shoulders tend to hurt. It's the same reason you guys will notice he only closed grip benches. He can't handle wide grip benching. Again, this is one of the downsides that people get from being skinny. And when I say skinny, I don't mean he was, average weight. You guys will see in the clip at the end, you'll be like, oh my God, he'd already been training for months. He couldn't put on weight. So addressing nutrition was something we had to do early on for him. And this is almost 2 years of work from being an underweight novice who you guys are like, oh my God, he looks almost anorexic, to where he is now, right? Now he's a strong, fit, healthy young man. I think at this point we're about to pull 5 plates, okay? Because everything he does is in kilos. He's not in America. So his squat's coming up. This is 145 kg for 7 reps. So again, he's close to a 4-plate squat even with this bar, but we did break it with a straight bar. Keep in mind, specialty bars are a little harder. And if people want to argue, we've got footage of it. They'll be like, he doesn't hit a 180 kilo squat. Yeah, he has. We got footage of it. And so I have him just running some 5-3-1 type programming with boring but big. And he didn't film all his supplemental lifts, and he didn't get everything in landscape for this vlog. He approached me and said, hey, I want to start vlogging. I'm like, this is what I need. Of course, I need a little more footage. I'm like, we need more of your supplemental work so that people can see it. But we're having to work on his pecs a lot more. And previously, he wasn't in a normal gym. He was only training at home, because gyms and stuff were closed. So he didn't have dumbbells. He can't wide grip bench. He could only floor press. He could only pen press. We can only close grip bench. So it's been a little hard to build his chest up. But now he has access to dumbbells and things, we can do that. But keeping in mind, this is a lifter who, just due to joint and tendons, we still deload a lot. Now, again, you guys are going to see this squat and you're like, wow, he's developed. He's got a back. He's got, people notice in some of these, well, he's got traps. He's got glutes. He's got hamstrings, quads now, right? But when you see him at the end, before we put this 40 pounds on him, and notice there's no belly, there's no gut, no love handles. This is with a loaded barbell and no belt. Like, you can't hide it. Okay? You can't hide anything. He's still at an athletic body fat after gaining 40 pounds in 22 months. That's something like 18 kilograms of body weight. Okay. Food. We've had to change his entire approach to eating. When I say to people, that I don't do nutrition coaching, because I always want to be clear with that because people want meal plans. I don't. It's not part of my service. But if I have a client who needs nutrition intervention, then I do it. It's just not an official part of my coaching. I'm a strength coach. But if this is what's required to get someone strong, then that's what we do. In his case, that's what we have to do. Plus, you'll see at the deadlifts coming at the end. This is 185 kg. It's just over 4 plates for 7 reps. Now, he's hit a 210 kilo deadlift, and a 220 is 5 plates. I think we're about ready for 5 plates. All right, so we're at those thresholds, right? He can squat 400 pounds. He's closing in on a 500-pound deadlift. The upper body is still a problem. You know, people are like, well, his upper body could be more jerky. Yeah, but we've struggled. He has bad elbows. He has bad shoulders. Like, we have to only close grip bench. So, you know, pressing has been hard. So, yeah, there's a lot of meat still to fill out there, but we have to work around that. And we have to deload pretty often for him because his joints get inflamed, even, you know, with the workloads we're doing. Yet, in spite of being the skinny, underweight hard gainer, having joint pain, tendon pain, all these things, look at where we have him. This is what just under 2 years of consistent eating and training does for the people who say, I can't make any gains, right? He was one of those guys who's like, I can't make any gains at all. I need help. And that's a lot of you out there. There's a lot of you out there in that situation. He was just like you. Right here, this is 185 kg for 7 reps on the deadlift. Okay, we've come along. Again, our biggest weak areas are still things like the pecs and triceps and stuff, because again, we've struggled there due to working with his limitations. But they're coming along, and we will get them caught up. We come back over to that point of how many. It's just a matter of how many years, because we're keeping his joints and tendons pretty healthy in spite of the fact that they get so easily inflamed. We're keeping them healthy, and we're still making progress. So that will come up eventually. But he really, I mean, he's only really got 22 months of real training. But here we are on these lifts. You know, again, the only thing lagging is his bench, but we've got an explanation. But here he is when he started. This is when he hired me. This is where he was. He's like, this is where I am. And this is an all-out max. And look at him there. He's like a toothpick. And he couldn't gain. He couldn't get bigger. He couldn't get stronger. Okay, he's hooked for life. Like, he's, again, about to re-up at the end of the week another 6-month package. He buys 6 months at a time. Because he's just like, I was never able to make gains, and you took me from this to where I am now. This is the person, like many of you, who couldn't make any gains at all, nothing. And this is where we've gotten him so far. Where is he going to be in another 3 years? All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.